When a key client comes to you with a problem like the United States Department of Defense, Wood is ready to provide them with an innovative solution. At Marine Corps Station Miramar in Southern California, the storage tanks were at capacity. These collect wastewater from the hangars, which also contains AFFF. They wanted to discharge this water to the sewer system, but we said, wait, you better sample that water for PFAS because it likely has very high concentrations. Since we're experts in the PFAS arena, sure enough, they sampled the water and came back with over 8 parts per million PFAS, which doesn't sound like a lot, but in the PFAS realm, that is screaming hot. We were able to treat that 8 parts per million to less than 2 parts per trillion, which are non-detect levels. We did this by utilizing a multimedia treatment train, including organoclay, carbon, and multiple variations of ion exchange resin. We mounted the treatment system on the back of a trailer, which allowed it to be moved around the installation from hangar to hangar. And we also emphasized flexibility in our design to make sure that we could treat the varying concentrations of PFAS and other co-contaminants that were present at each treatment location. We then coordinated with the local municipality to make sure that we could discharge that treated water into the sewer system, which eliminated the need for off-site waste disposal. This is one of the great solutions that we provide as part of our consulting jobs, and we love to do it, and we're happy to be working for the U.S. Department of Defense and providing cost savings for these clients.
Wood's team developed a remote sensing tool that uses high-resolution satellite imagery and machine learning algorithms to assess the condition of reclaimed sites in the Alberta oil sands. Traditionally, these assessments are done using helicopter flyovers, with the human eye making an estimation of the condition of a site. Helicopters are carbon-intensive, expensive, and pose a safety risk. The tool we developed was able to accurately quantify many important parameters about a site, including the number of trees on a site, what types of trees, and was also able to determine if there was enough plant species diversity.
Humber Zero is one part of the wider Zero Carbon Humber Industrial Cluster, which is one of the anchor projects that will help to realise the UK's net zero carbon emissions by 2050. Within Wood, we carried out feasibility and pre-feed studies for the Humber Zero cluster. That consisted of a combined heat and power plant owned and operated by Vitol, a Phillips 66 refinery, and developing a new blue and green hydrogen filling station for Uniper. Within Wood, we used our experience of carbon capture technology, hydrogen, and our extensive consultancy and feasibility experience to develop the lowest cost carbon reduction solution for the Humber Zero cluster, which would avoid CO2 emissions of around 8 million tonnes per year. This has allowed us to position ourselves for the follow-on PMC and front-end engineering design phases of the Humber Zero project, as well as wider opportunities within the Zero Carbon Humber cluster. That includes potential technology and services for the Equinor Hydrogen to Humber project, a blue hydrogen plant of 600 megawatts capacity, and also working with Northern Gas Networks on the front-end engineering design of the hydrogen and CO2 pipeline networks that will connect the facilities within the Zero Carbon Humber cluster. These net zero opportunities are key to the future of our consulting business and developing capabilities that will underpin the decarbonisation of the oil and gas and wider industrial sectors.
We have built MentAI, Wood's generalized, scalable, predictive maintenance solution, using physics-based models and machine learning that enables screening, diagnostic, and prognostic of machinery. Based on our data-driven insights, rapid agile product development, and delivery focus, we advise our clients to do the right work on the right time on the right way. Combined with our consulting-led approach, we have deployed MentAI to some of our clients on the energy sector, and we were able to demonstrate the direct value delivered by improving plant reliability, reduction in OPEX, and minimize human risk with low-touch assets. For example, for BP North Sea, we're enabling 100 to 150 million OPEX savings and 10% increase to production by 2023, which allowed us to entertain a commercial model of value capture. MentAI allowed Wood to become the trusted advisor to high-value clients in the predictive maintenance space.
Delighted to be given the opportunity to showcase one of our signature integrated mobility solutions projects here in Toronto, which aligns with our corporate strategic pillars around sustainable infrastructure, growth in government sector, and energy transition. The project itself is known as the Waterfront LRT Light Rail Transit Project. The client is the Toronto Transit Commission, TTC, a government entity that provides transit services to the City of Toronto. The drivers behind the project are twofold. One, redevelopment and intensification of downtown, and two, to connect Canada's busiest multimodal hub, Union Station, with the highly sought after Toronto's waterfront. At Union Station specifically, we have a number of commuter lines and platforms, about 10, which run over a multi-lane streetway that sits on top of the existing underground LRT station. Currently, the LRT runs in 2 lines. Our work is to take this to 4, with 2 lines navigating their way to the waterfront, a distance of about 1.5 kilometres. There's a new station and platforms at Union Station and a new terminal at Queen's Quay at the waterfront. En route, there is a number of new stations to accommodate the future city growth plans. Our contract is to develop 30% preliminary design, a $15 million fully reimbursable time and materials assignment, which is being delivered using the latest design tools and technologies. The contract allows the client to extend our scope to detailed design, which will be a momentum sale of $50 to $65 million. As a differentiator, we're working with our digital technology team to develop a digital twin of part or all of this project. To me, this should move the needle to Wood as frontrunners for the next stage. Relationships are good, we're on track to deliver, and I look forward to the opportunity to return to present our team's efforts, making our places better to live, work, and play.
IOPS is in the business of transforming complex data into actionable intelligence for our clients through consulting services and digital products. One of the products in our portfolio is Virtuoso, which helps manage more than 30% of the world's LNG production. Chevron in Australia uses Virtuoso and Gorgon for the upstream production system, as well as a CO2 sequestration pipeline. Combining physics and data, Virtuoso is able to predict what's not measured, things such as composition in a pipeline. This technology was applied in North Sea for tracking CO2 in a pipeline. That same technology can be used for tracking hydrogen in distribution networks. As the energy transition market grows, we expect the use of Virtuoso for CO2 and hydrogen transport to grow with it.
I'm excited to have this opportunity to highlight Wood's efforts for Marathon Petroleum on our recent renewable diesel project at their Dickinson, South Dakota facility. Marathon found themselves up against a regulatory deadline that would cost them hundreds of millions of dollars if not met. They got into this position through the efforts of an overwhelmed EPC and a disinterested vendor that focused on their portion of the sell and not a solution. Based on previous experiences with Wood, the Marathon project manager approached us to fill in the gaps left by the other 2 companies. A distributed Wood team took ownership of the problems and worked side by side with the client team to address these challenges. Through application of Wood Digital Smart Tools, our team was able to rapidly validate constantly changing data, enable automated remote testing of a highly complex control system. The result, through the efforts of our expert team and tools, Wood closed the gaps and enabled Marathon to meet the regulatory deadlines for startup of the renewable diesel facility. Thank you.